Hi, my name's Ian and welcome back to my Peugeot Boxer Campervan build. This is episode 12. In the previous video I mentioned that I was going to start talking about the build costs of this particular vehicle, but also I think we need to consider the build costs of when you're going to start a van in the first place and have an expectation of the sort of money that you want to spend and the estimated budget or an enhanced budget of what you're going to spend. I've fell sort of foul of this myself. I initially thought that this van build cost would be, I don't know, probably no more than about £10,000 all in, including the van. But then when you start looking around to buy your van in the first place, you all of a sudden realise that, say, a budget of £5,000 to buy your van isn't going to buy you a lot. Or if you've got even less money to spend, you could be looking at maybe buying some sort of old builder's van or an old delivery van that's full of dents, it's got intergalactic mileage on it, and it's not worth spending a load of money on it in doing a van conversion. So I think what you need to be looking at first is how much money you've got to spend. Just say for instance you've got a total build cost of £10,000, you want to be probably looking at spending maybe £6,000 or £7,000 of that money on buying the van in the first place, and not buying something that's falling to bits. Or if you can't afford anything that's that in that sort of budget, it's then to think about, well, let's buy the best van I can find for my money, and then maybe cut down on your conversion costs of what you're going to spend on it, because there's no point in spending, say, I don't know, £2,000 say on an old knackered van and then spending something like £10,000 on converting it, when it could then obviously cost you a load of money in a couple of years time, and you've wasted a lot of money on there. What I think you need to be looking at is to buy a van that once it's converted it's worth all the money you've spent on it. So to say for instance you spend, I don't know, say £7,000 to £8,000 on your van, you spend £10,000 doing it up, that's £18,000. You want to then think to yourself, can I buy a motorhome to the build cost, to the sort of the year that you built it, to say for instance, I don't know, say the 2015 van, you spent sort of £7,000 to £8,000 on it, on buying it, you spent £10,000 on converting it. Can I buy a 2015 van fully converted for £18,000? And probably the answer to that question is probably no, you can't. So but if you then buy, go down the other route and you sort of buy an old knackered builder's van at £2,000, you spend £10,000 on it, and just say for instance it's like an old 2002 or 2005 model, say for instance, it's got intergalactic mileage on it. Even when you've spent £10,000 on it, you spent £2,000 on your van, you'll probably find that nobody will pay £12,000 for that vehicle if you came to sell it. If you've got no intention of selling it, you're going to run it into the ground, well yes, it may well be worth doing that. But I think, as I said, is to start looking at your budget and spending as much as you possibly can on your van, and then maybe compromise on your build conversion to start off with. Maybe look down the route of buying some old kitchen units to create your furniture to start off with the intention that when you've got a bit more money you can then take those out and replace them then with something a bit better. Or maybe go down the route of, see if you can source an old, get an old caravan and strip the interior out of it, and you've got quite a lot of the stuff you need for it then. But as I said, it's your own choice, but as I said, it's just my personal thoughts that, you don't really want to go spending, too much money on an old knackered van before you then start obviously doing your build conversion. I think also as well, it's worthwhile going online once you've decided what you're going to do with your van, how many windows you're going to put in, how many skylights you're going to put in, are you going to put a fridge in it, are you going to put a shower in there with the bathroom, are you going to have a cooker in it? All those things is literally sit down and work out those costs of how much it's going to cost you. And I'll tell you now, there is a lot of hidden costs involved in building one of these vans, costs you don't even think about. I've got a list of about, I think it's about, down there. I've got 25 items in a list of stuff that I know I've spent money on. Sorry, I told you, it's 24, and then there's one item on here that's called miscellaneous, and I've sort of gone through every receipt I've got, and the amount of miscellaneous items that's on this list is, you think, well, how the hell did I spend all that money on that? But it's there. So for this van build, I'm going to start at the top of the list I've got. I put 4 windows in it at a cost of £1,075. There's 3 skylights in at a cost of £690. I put a Truma 4E, I think it is, boiler in here, combi boiler, with all the vents and the ducting and everything else. That was £1,373. My electrics, I did use a Sargent unit, so that was a probably a bit more expensive way of putting my electrics in there, but I decided to go down that route. That was all in at £480. Furniture board, to build all the furniture that I've done, this is excluding the locker doors, these ones that you can just see the bottom of up here, that's a separate cost. Furniture board, £720. The upper doors for all my units, £385. The worktop for my kitchen, that was £135. The toilet, including the shower tray, £415. Cooker, £405. The Vitrifrigo fridge, £700, including the surround. I put a Truma Omni-Store awning, I think it is, 4-metre one just down the side of the van. I fitted that yesterday. I'll probably show that in a different video. That was £785. The tambour door for the shower, now actually the initial cost of that was £205, but since then I've extended it and spent another £120 on it. So that tambour door now owes me £325, I think it is. Remis blinds around the front of the cab, £430. Swivel plates for turning my 2 seats around, £240. This secondary seat that I bought on for the because I took the original double seat out and put this swivel seat, this single seat in it so I could swivel it. That was £400. I'm going to leave the miscellaneous items to the end. Plywood, £200. Insulation. Now this is one of the big ones. So I insulated the ceiling, I insulated the floor, all the walls, £400. Timber battens, £92. Plumbing, £150. The sliding door blind that I've got, so it's like a to stop insects and stuff like that coming in on the sliding door, that was £230. I decided to put an underslung gas tank on this van because I didn't want to waste space by carrying gas containers around with me within the van. That complete kit was £500. Sinks and taps, £230. The bed frame, including actually buying the mattress, £160. The plastic cladding that I used in the bathroom, that was £100, and then I spent £155 on lino. Miscellaneous items. Now this includes screws, mastic, glues, stuff for cleaning like turpentine, other cleaning products, and just other miscellaneous stuff. I mean, obviously on this list here, this is not a complete list of everything else I've bought for the van. But what I'm going to say to you now is my build cost, as it stands at the moment, stands at £12,755. Now originally I thought, I don't know, probably ended up spending no more than about £5,000–6,000 on this build. So there it is, well, I've doubled it. And as I said in the previous video, sometimes you might end up spending even more than that on it. I mean, my van, I got that as a bit of a bargain. In fact, if I bought this van last year when I bought it and left it sat on the driveway for the last year and didn't do anything with it, I could have made £2,000 on it, because the price of vans has gone through the roof over the last year. All the vans, I mean, I was looking originally at like 2014, 2015 vans, and this time last year you could have picked one up with about 120,000 miles on the clock for £5,000 without any bother at all. Those same vans now are £2,000 dearer, and also in some cases you're paying VAT on top of it as well, and all of it's obviously to do with this COVID case and the fact that there's no new vans, or very few new vans available, so which has actually now forced the second-hand prices up. And also there's a lot of people like me, and probably people like you watching, who are doing van conversions or are planning on doing a van conversion. And I must say, if you're a person that's not bought a van yet, and you're planning on doing a van conversion, I would literally think about holding off for 12 months, because I think van prices will drop considerably over the next 12 months. I was actually considering doing another van conversion myself, just as a hobby, then to sell on. I was looking at maybe doing a micro camper, but like a Citroen Berlingo, Fiat Doblo, that type of thing. And the prices of them are just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, you know, like a 2003 to 2005 model vehicles, 160 to 200,000 miles on the clock, they're going for a couple of grand. I mean, that's just ridiculous money for something that's probably about ready for the scrapyard. So, as I said, if you're considering maybe doing a van conversion now and you've not bought the van, just hold off for a while, because as I said, van prices are going to drop at some point. As I said, this van, I bought it last year, it's 2016. It got 93,000 miles on the clock when I bought it, and I paid £7,440 for it. As I said, if I didn't do anything with this van now, I could probably, as I said, without touching it, could have probably stuck this up on the market for £9.5 grand, and would have probably sold it quite easily because they've got the lowish mileage on it. But yeah, that's where we are with this build. I've sort of waffled on a bit. If you've got any questions regarding the van build with costs and that type of thing, then don't hesitate to put something in the comments below. And again, if you like the video, give it a like. Please subscribe if you've not already subscribed to my channel. I'll probably be not putting many more videos out about this van. I think probably there'll be one more, our final, maybe a walk around. They've only got a couple more jobs left to do on it now. As I said, I fitted the Thule Omnistore awning on there yesterday. I've got the decals have arrived that I'm going to put down the side of it. Although saying that, temperatures at the moment have started to drop, and ideally the temperatures need to warm up a bit. It's actually quite a nice sunny day today, so I might actually start it today. I need to give the van a wash. I did give the whole van a full cut the other day, which was a good workout for the arms. So it's now ready for going for the decals to be fitted to it once I've given it a wash, and then obviously I can then give it a good polish afterwards. So I might start that today. As I said, the sun is out, so obviously it will warm the side of the van up. As I said, with regards to videos, there's probably only be one more on this build, I think. As I said, just to show you the last things I've done to it. Bit of a walk around. May even do that. We're planning on going away shortly. So I might actually do that out on location on a caravan site somewhere. But yeah, thanks for watching. As I said, please tick a like, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks very much for watching. Cheers. Apologies, just noticed while watching my video back that I didn't tell you how much I'd spent on miscellaneous items. That was about £400, so that was basically like screws, brackets, as I said, mastic, cleaning products, just things you wouldn't even think about. As I said, it all added up to £400. So yeah, apologies for not adding that bit in, but yeah, there we go. Cheers, thanks a lot.